Hello Stage 2, welcome to another lesson of Science in Mrs. B's Kitchen. So glad that you could join me for my online learning. We've been looking the last few weeks at how materials change when they're heated or cooled. And I want to thank you for all the great work you've been doing and sending me in those photographs of your experiments at home and the videos. And Michaela, thank you in particular. I think you want my job, or maybe just a guest spot on my channel, hey? Anyhow, it's been wonderful and really heartening to see all the work that you boys and girls are doing at home, so thank you. Today we are considering how materials are used for a specific purpose. How do you decide upon which material to use for a particular purpose? When you think about it, everything around us is being made for a certain purpose. My bench top is made of something that's really hard. Cars are made of steel. Playgrounds are made from plastic and all different types of materials. But how do they decide what is the best material? It depends on the properties of that material. So today, boys and girls, we're going to look at insulators, materials that make good insulators. And by that, I mean something that will keep something colder for longer, or maybe keep something warmer for longer. Generally, when you go out somewhere on a picnic or a barbecue, you use an esky. Why do you use an esky? Certainly not to warm things up. So today, I want you to consider things around you that could be used to insulate something. That is to keep it cool. So in our experiment today, you need some plastic containers, and they've got to be exactly the same size and shape and with a lid on top. You only need two. I had these two to start with, but then I realized I wanted to look at more materials than just the two. So I found these ones, and I'm going to use these for my experiment. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and keep an ice cube from melting as long as possible. So in our first container, we are going to put an ice cube in a few minutes that has got nothing wrapped around it at all. It's just in a container with a lid on. The second one, I've decided that I'm going to use bubble wrap. See how that goes when I wrap the ice cube in that. The third one, I'm going to use aluminium foil. Because don't they sometimes, when they're building houses, put foil around houses? Is that to keep them warm in winter? Or is that to keep them cool in summer? Or maybe it does both. And the last one is wool, because I know that wool would make a good insulator too. This is straight off a sheep's back. So it's not the wool that you would have to knit with, but that would be fine too. But if you had other materials at home, I would use them as well, because they would be just as good. So I'm just going to go and get the ice cubes out of the freezer, and we will start the experiment. Now the second thing I'm going to do is I don't need all those ice cubes, but I want to make sure I choose 4 that are exactly the same size. So I'm going to take all the lids off these containers. And choose 4 which look pretty much the same size. Let me have a look at them. They look pretty good. Oh, that one looks a bit smaller. That one there looks a bit bigger actually. I might get a smaller one. What do you think? I think they're pretty good. I suppose I could weigh them to be really, really particular, but I don't want them to melt too quickly, so I think I might just make do with them. All right, we'll use those ones, and I'll just leave those ones there. Now the first ice cube is just going to be placed in a container on its own. And this is my control. It's going to have the lid on it. Yeah. So I'm going to put one of these in bubble wrap. It's a fair amount of bubble wrap, but I thought I'll just use the lot. I'm going to wrap it up in that bubble wrap, and I'm going to place it in my second container. So the thing that I've changed there is that I've wrapped it in a different material, but the ice cube and the container are exactly the same. My next one, and wool I think is meant to be a good insulator, so I'm going to see how it goes if I put it right in there like that. Keep it nice in there. And my last one I thought was the aluminium foil. So let me get that wrapped up nicely. And I'm going to put it in there. So I have got 4 different items here. One's my control, one's in wool, one's in aluminium foil, and one's in the bubble wrap. I wonder which one is going to melt the quickest. Mrs. Burton actually was the lady that gave me the idea for this experiment. So thank you, Mrs. Burton, I appreciate it. So boys and girls, what I would like you to do is to make up a little sheet so you can record your information. It's always important in science that you record what happens. People that are doing online learning, I've sent you on a Google Doc a table that you can record your data on. Now what I've got here is ice cube melting experiment, how long till it melts. So I've got the ice cube control, the ice cube foil, the ice cube bubble wrap, and the ice cube wool. So I wonder how long it's going to take for each one of those to melt. I'm going to leave it outside in the sun only because I want it to go a little bit quicker, and I want to get back to you in a little while what actually happened. But if I were you boys and girls, maybe you want to stop the video now and do your little experiment so you can tell me what you found out before I tell you what I found out, if you get what I mean. So boys and girls, good luck with what you're doing. Looking forward to seeing what your results are, and enjoy the experiment. I'll talk to you in a little while. Bye. Well, boys and girls, welcome back. It's been about 50 minutes, just over 50 minutes, and my little ice cube in the control has melted. So I put them outside on a table. It was in the shade actually because I thought that was the best spot. I was thinking of putting it on the car, but the car was really hot, so I didn't want to speed things up too much. So we've got our ice cube just after 50 minutes, and it's completely liquid. So let's have a look at our other ones and see how they are going. Ooh, there's a bit of water in here, but let me have a look. Completely also dissolved, all gone. So it didn't last as long, or maybe did last as long as the control. Let's have a look at the one in the plastic. Aha! The plastic is still this size, so it has been a better insulator than the foil, and also than just keeping it in a normal container by itself. Let's have a look at the wool. Ooh, where's the wool? I can feel something in here. There is the wool as well. So it's probably similar size. I might actually just compare it. Maybe we can tell which is the biggest one. The wool could be slightly larger, but probably not enough to call for it. But what we might do is put them back in there, and I'm going to have a look just to see how long they actually take to completely melt. I'll wrap them back in there and put them outside again. Well, boys and girls, I hope you've enjoyed the experiment today, and you now know what is a better insulator to keep something cold. See you next week. Bye.